Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Nashville Superspeedway. It's Sprint Series night in America, and of all the races we have had so far this season in the Wawa Sprint Series, this one is absolutely the most crucial that we have had up to this point. It's the last race of the regular season here in the Wawa Sprint Series. After today, the top 10 drivers in the point standings will lock their spots into the Wawa Sprint Series chase. They don't have to sign up anymore, and then in those last 10 races, they'll go for a championship here in the Wawa Sprint Series and a subsequent reserve for next season in the Wawa Cup Series. Join alongside Logan Williams for the call of this race. Great to have you back, Logan. It's been a long time since we've called a race together. And Logan, it is very tight between Bruno Di Giacomo and Lona for that last cutoff spot. Lona is in the 45 this week, starting on pole, and Bruno Di Giacomo in the other team ride, starting fourth. All Lona needs to do is have 4 points. She holds the tiebreaker. She starts on the pole. What does she need to do to get this race victory and get into the Wawa Sprint Series chase?
I really think Lona doesn't have that hard of a job to do tonight, considering where she's starting the pole, and the front is a pretty good spot to start here at Nashville. I'm more worried about Di Giacomo starting on that outside lane. If he falls back too much too early, these are really short races, as we've gotten used to know, and he could be in trouble real quick, so hopefully we get a good battle tonight, and it goes down to the end.
It's going to be very interesting to see how it all goes down here in this 19-lap event here at the Nashville Superspeedway. Of course, no pit stops for these guys, so it's an all-out sprint race, and of course, if we do get a caution, it's only going to be 2 laps, so more green flag racing if that in fact happens. But these guys can actually race this track pretty cleanly. When we tried the Wawa Pro Series last year, we did have a race here on this version of the Nashville Superspeedway. This is the 2021 version of this track, and I absolutely loved it, and I think we're going to have a great race here as well. In the point standings coming into this event, not only is there a battle for that cutoff, there's a battle for the regular season championship. And the driver who comes into this race, the points leader, is not in this race. That's Trey Bartow. Missed out on signups, 19 straight races, and my man just up and left. A good thing for Bartow, he is locked into the chase, and he'll be in that number 80 machine for the rest of the season. But Sam and Oz can make up those extra bonus points in that number 75 as he starts on the outside pole, only 9 points behind that regular season championship cutoff. Of course, both of those drivers are locked. Skylar Taylor is locked 92 ahead. Jim Finson-Leff is locked 88 ahead. Avery Alford 84 ahead. Benny Moore 55 ahead. Rutkowski 51 ahead. And Torres 41 ahead. All those drivers are locked. They do not have to worry about falling outside. And all these drivers have selected rides that they would prefer. Some of them have second and third preferences in case the number that they chose has already been chosen by a car, or by a driver, I should say, that's higher than them in the point standing. So the driver who's first in points gets the first pick, and then it just goes down from there, and everyone kind of has their picks in order for when we get this all started. So Trey Bartow, he's going to be in the 80 machine no matter what, and Sam and Odskin is going to be in the 75 machine no matter what. We know those two, but once we get down to Skylar Taylor, Avery Alford, there's a couple of, cars there where they're picking the same number, and if Taylor ends up falling behind Alford, Taylor could end up in the 00, and then Alford can end up in the 45, because that's just what they decided to choose. So it's going to get very, very interesting to see how it all goes down in terms of who gets what ride based on what you guys picked last week. So that's going to be fascinating. But of course, the big thing is going to be who gets in that last spot. You got Lona there, 4 points behind Bruno Di Giacomo. Cole Raymond is 17 points ahead. He is in this race here today. And as long as Raymond generally just finishes top 15, he's good to go. And then if something really screwy happens in this race, Dale Johnson II could take the spot away from Di Giacomo and Lona, as he's only 10 points behind Bruno Di Giacomo. Mainly, it would take Lona and Bruno Di Giacomo wrecking each other out, falling to the back of the field, and Dale Johnson finishing top 3, really, for something like that to happen, and then everybody else is out of contention. But like I mentioned, Lona in the 45 to start this race, alongside the 75 there of Sam and Oskin. Joe Rutkowski's in the 74 with Bruno Di Giacomo alongside Mason Brown in the 4, and Dale Johnson II starts 6th in this race, so Dale Johnson has a good starting position, but he needs Di Giacomo and Lona to fall way behind for him to have any opportunity. Philip Torres, Angel Gutierrez, this will probably be the last race Gutierrez is in the 56, because odds are that ride will end up being taken during the chase. We got the 7 machine. this week is Avery Alford alongside Priya McShane in the 80. This is the car that Trey Bartow will be driving the next 10 weeks, but he took the week off. Got the 00 of Jim Vincent left. That's where he is, and the 78 of Skylar Taylor. Then the 02 machine is Cole Raymond this week to the inside of Benny Moore. 77, first-time driver, I should say, Nick Inslee in the 77 alongside the 60 machine of MJ Williams. 05 machine is Landon Smith Jr. and the 40 is Ricky Drake. It's the brother to Keith Drake. And then you got the 01 machine of Roy Ribbleton and the 33 of Kelly Lee. We'll go ahead and get these guys to roll off here from the Nashville Superspeedway. 19 laps here in this 1 1/3 mile tri-shaped oval in Lebanon, Tennessee. Logan, a very strong field up front, as it always is, but it's two guys going for that last cutoff. Do you think one of them's going to get the race victory, or will it be somebody else?
I don't think it's going to be one of those two guys, or, any of the guys around the cutoff, but I'm going to pick that third starting spot. I'm feeling good about it tonight. Joe Rutkowski in the 74, also picking a team car with Appalachian Motorsports, so we'll see what 74 can do.
First he drive for Caleb Rose over there in the Cup Series, and Caleb's had a pretty solid run here in the Wawa Sprint Series, and he'll more than likely have Sam Oskin and Joe Rutkowski full-time in the next 10 races of the Wawa Sprint Series here. It'll be Rutkowski's third win if he can pull it off, but Lona, definitely the biggest win of her career going up to this point. Biggest race of your career, I should say, coming up to this point. Because if she wins and Giacomo does not lead the most laps, she's going to be in the chase and knock Giacomo out. But we'll have to see how it all goes down. It's green flag here in Nashville. 19 laps to determine that last chase spot. And Lona with a great jump. Outside lane does not get going here at the Nashville Superspeedway. And just as you were mentioning, Logan, Bruno Di Giacomo starting on that outside lane, definitely a cause for concern, but he is going to get to the inside rather quickly, and Oskin going to fall back. Now, Oskin needs at least 9 points to win the regular season title ahead of Trey Bartow. He's the only other driver that can dethrone Bartow for the regular season title, but if he finishes 11th, or should I say 12th or worse, Bartow will still win the regular season title here in the Wawa Sprint Series. But lap 1 complete, and a bonus point towards the championship there for Lona in the 45. So that's good news for her, trying to get as many points as she can on this 83. The way they currently run, Lona would be in the Wawa Sprint Series chase, and Giacomo would be out. Mason Brown is second. Philip Torres is third. Avery Alford. Now this is another interesting thing, because Alford and Skylar Taylor are both going for the 45 in the Wawa Sprint Series chase, and Alford clearing ahead of Taylor right now, as Taylor all the way down in 18th. They could get very interesting for those two drivers. But here comes Philip Torres to the inside of Mason Brown for second, as Lona pulls away in the 45.
And this is exactly what Lona wants to happen behind her. Those guys battling for the second spot. Torres is going to take it. He's clear now for second over Mason Brown, but nothing doing for Bruno Di Giacomo back there. However, there's still plenty of time left in this race. We got 15 to go this time by, but a really, really nice gap for Lona this early on. 0.6 of a second already.
And you got Dale Johnson the second here, trying to get around the 74 Joe Rutkowski. The Appalachia cars did not get going there at the start. Oskin currently runs 11th. That's exactly where he wants to be to win the regular season title. And then you got Skylar Taylor falling back in the 78. Going to be fascinating to see who ends up in that 45, because it won't be Lona, even though she's driving this car right now. It's not going to be Lona, and obviously the Trinity River Racing cars, some of the best ones out here, and it's going to be fascinating to see who ends up getting that. Here comes Philip Torres. Now, for Giacomo, what he wants, well, he wants to get around Mason Brown right here, and it looks like he's going to do so. He wants Philip Torres to get around this 45, and Philip Torres does not care at all about this championship battle. He cares about the championship battle once he gets into the chase course, but he doesn't care about this cutoff battle. He's already locked in. He wants to get this win for his dad, and he may very well get it here, as we're on lap 6 now here at Nashville, trying to close in there on Lona for the race lead. Giacomo's now up to third, but Lona still, as they run, holds on to that 10th position, but she's going to slide it up here, and Philip Torres is going to close in the 85.
Yeah, as soon as I said Lona was starting to pull away, Torres in that 85, he just gotten around for second. He started reeling her in, and it was a really quick process for him. Still can't find enough room to make that run through turns 3 and 4 here on that inside lane. He's going to have to set up for another lap here, but Man, he's right on the back bumper of Lona here. It's a matter of time before he gets around, I think. And Di Giacomo is right there in third, which is even more important for that 83 car. But Torre's going to slip up a little bit into 1, and Lona lives to fight another day.
And I think what Di Giacomo wants is for that 85 to cut to the inside of Lona and try to get her stuck in the outside lane so he can get around. And, you know, even though they're technically teammates in this race, of course, the way this series works, you know, they're not really going to be teammates after this one. Of course, Di Giacomo, I think it's the first time he's run for Trinity River Racing here. Lona did win at Phoenix in this ride as Philip Torres peeking to the inside. Of course, Torres won at Talladega earlier this season, wants to get his second win. And, of course, this win will give him 3 more bonus points heading into the chase as well, which is huge in terms of the title, especially considering that these guys only get pretty much half the amount of points as they do over in the Cup Series. So those bonus points mean so much more here in the Sprint Series, and Torres is going all out for it. He might have a shot here, but Lona able to keep the outside lane to her advantage. Di Giacomo trying to hold off Mason Brown right here. Angel Gutierrez is 5th. You know, he said, you know, Cup Series, I'm going to be in the Cup Series for this race. You know, he may very well be there. Dale Johnson the 2nd there in 6th, but with Lona and Di Giacomo up front the way they are, he's not really going to get much out of it. Cole Raymond definitely giving himself a bit of a buffer in this race, and you got Oskin in the position to win the regular season title. Alford currently 11th, and Taylor is 16th. And right now, Taylor holds that position on Alford for that number 45 machine. Of course, once we get to the end of the race, I'll show you guys which rides everybody who is in the chase is going to be in. And also show you guys the points before we reset for the chase. And, of course, you guys will see the chase points at the end of the video. But halfway already here in the Nashville Superspeedway. We call it the Sprint Series for a reason. And Philip Torres trying to close in here on Lona for this race lead. Lona may get this bonus point for the championship for leading the most laps, which is not good for Di Giacomo. But all Di Giacomo needs to do is finish ahead of Lona, and he will hold on to that 10th position. And he's going for it right here. Looking on Philip Torres. Not going to get the run there to the inside quite yet. It's a tight battle there up front.
Yeah, Lona is really, really wide off the corner there. That's going to be probably Torres' best opportunity.
There he goes.
Down to the inside.
Philip Torres to the inside for the race lead on Lona. And now Bruno Di Giacomo looking to the inside of Lona as well. And Di Giacomo trying to take it away from his competitor as Torres pulls away for the race lead. And now you got Mason Brown and Angel Gutierrez, and Di Giacomo back in that 10th position. But Mason Brown going to move to the inside and try to take that away from him. No, Di Giacomo going to hold the outside. Oh boy. Di Giacomo slid up and Mason Brown's coming. Here comes Gutierrez as well in the 56.
Lona just went from making the chase to not even being in the Cup race. She fell back 4 spots in a single lap. Mason Brown, however, trying to make it harder on the 83 car. He's going for 2nd, and Gutierrez is pushing him through that corner. Philip Torres has rocketed away. I think he's definitely had the fastest car this entire race so far, but Mason Brown looking for 2nd in the Titan Fury Racing machine. Di Giacomo's not giving up, but I think it finally bites the bullet, and there goes Mason Brown into 2nd.
And all he needs to do is finish ahead of Lona in this race. And actually, here's the thing, though. He actually has a position now. Now that Lona is not winning this race, she's not going to get those bonus points for winning the race. It's still going to Di Giacomo. Even though Lona's got those 2 bonus points, it's still 1 point to Di Giacomo. But if Dale Johnson the 2nd gets around this 83 and Lona remains in this position, or if Lona gains a position here, then Di Giacomo is going to lose it because the tiebreaker goes to Lona based on her win that she got at Phoenix earlier this season. Gutierrez, how about Hairgel Motorsports? They're going to go 1-2 right here. Philip Torres is out of here. He's got a 2nd lead on the field. And then you got Mason Brown battling with these guys. He's not going to make the chase. But Lona's going to get around him. And Di Giacomo's going to have to get around Mason Brown if he's going to have an opportunity right here, because Lona has led the most laps in this race. That's a guarantee. She led up to lap 10. And, of course, a bonus point for leading a lap. Di Giacomo's going to get around Mason Brown. Oh, and Lona's almost in the outside wall there. Really sliding it up through the corner. We're going to see that in the Cup race on Saturday. And, Logan, you're in that one. Here comes Dale Johnson in the 07 trying to close in here. Going to get to the inside of his teammate.
Johnson trying to play spoiler here. Even if he can't get in the chase on his own, he might be the difference between Di Giacomo and Lona. He's got to catch him first, however. 45 and 83 are back in 3rd and 4th, and they're trying to run away. Obviously, they're both in the transfer spot for the Cup race right now, but I think that the chase spot is more important to them. Di Giacomo continuing to try and reel in Lona here.
And Di Giacomo has been below that cutoff nearly this entire season. Was able to close in the Lona the last few races, and just chose a different strategy on the car that he drove, and that was the difference. So now both of these drivers with a good team. But Di Giacomo closing back in here on Lona and pulling away from Dale Johnson. That's the big thing. And then Lona kind of nowhere near Gutierrez there. Meanwhile, Philip Torres, and I know he's been through a lot lately, and I know he is really, really wanting this race victory. Of course, he's going to be in the chase, and the way it's looking right now, he's also going to be in the Cracker Barrel 400 on Saturday as Di Giacomo moves to the inside of Lona, and Lona's going to slip back, and that right there could do it. Lona had such an opportunity to get it here, but just not the speed in that car that she needed, as Di Giacomo started right there behind her. And it's looking good for Bruno Di Giacomo to possibly make it into the Wawa Sprint Series chase here today.
Yeah, Lona's fended off Johnson for now. She's going to have one more shot at getting back past that 83, though. I don't think the 07's going to get to her in time. But if she keeps running really high, especially we've seen her have problems through 1 and 2 and almost getting the wall, that's not good for her. It's going to be really close. White flag is out this time by. The 2 hair gel cars are way out in front, and Philip Torres leads them into turn number 1 for the final time.
And what a win this will be for Philip Torres. Going to be a second one of the season. Got the win at Talladega. And I don't think Lona is going to get around this 83 machine. And even if she got one position, Di Giacomo would still have the cutoff. How about that? What a battle it was here in this race. But Philip Torres was clear and ahead, the fastest driver of the day. Going to be his second career win on the channel. Philip Torres wins at Nashville in the Wawa Sprint Series. Gutierrez, Di Giacomo, and Lona will all be in the Cup Series race, but Lona is not going to be in the Wawa Sprint Series chase, as she has failed to qualify, and she is going to be 3 points off of that cutoff. That's how close it was. Bruno Di Giacomo gets the last position into the Wawa Sprint Series chase. Let's see here. Salmon Oskin's your regular season champion because Trey Barta missed this race, and Oskin's going to get the points on him. Of course, Oskin also missed one race this year as well. And who else here? Skylar Taylor finished ahead of Avery Alford, so Taylor will end up in the 45, and Alford will be in the 02 machine. And I think that's going to leave the 00. I think Di Giacomo's going to end up being in the 00 then, but we'll get through all of that. We do know that Philip Torres will be in this 85 machine for the Wawa Sprint Series chase, and he's going to have some bonus points going in as well. But, how about that race right there here from the Nashville Superspeedway? And Logan, thoughts on this one, and what do you expect to see come Saturday in the last race of the Wawa Cup Series regular season?
Overall, I think pretty average race for the Sprint Series here at Nashville, but we had something to make it spicy. So that was a good thing. But Philip Torres getting the win for Dad. And he definitely had the fastest car all day. He definitely deserved it, and I'm glad, NR didn't pull something out of the spanner that made it even worse. So that's a good thing. And as for the Cup race on Saturday, I'm hopefully not expecting a repeat of what happened a few years ago when I tried to win this race. But I think it should be a pretty fun race. Nashville is definitely one of my favorite tracks in NR and in real life. And I'm so glad that they brought it back to the Cup Series schedule. And I think, the race should be exciting, obviously a lot longer. So there's a lot more time for strategy and stuff to play it out. And that's what really makes this track interesting.
Absolutely. And you see the points on your screen after 20 races. How about the top 3? All missed a race this season and finished ahead of the 4 drivers who did make every single race. But all 4 drivers who were in every single race this season are in the Wawa Sprint Series chase. Salmon Oskin will be in the 75 for the last 10 races. Trey Barta will be in the 80. Skylar Taylor will be in the 45. Avery Alford, now this is interesting. Alford is actually going to be in the 74 machine because he finished ahead of Joe Rutkowski. And that is big because Alford, he's been running for that team, for the Appalachian Motorsports team, quite a bit. But the 75 and the 45 both taken there ahead of Alfred, and which were his two first picks, I should say. And the 74 was his third pick. And with the 75 and 45 already being taken, he's going to be in the 74 instead of Rutkowski. That's how big the point standings meant there. Alfred and Vincelef were actually tied, but Vincelef only chose the 07. He was good there. Rutkowski is going to be in the 77 for Rain Motorsports. So that could get a little interesting right there. Allie's going to have one of her rides in the chase. Benny Moore is going to be in the 96 machine. And then we got Philip Torres will be in the 85. Cole Raymond is going to be in the 83 machine. Watch out for Cole Raymond, because he's yet to win a race this season, but he hasn't really been with that team that much. He only ran a couple races with them, and the 2 races I think he did run with that team, he did an excellent job. And then Bruno Di Giacomo is going to be in the 00, as that was his second pick, and he'll be running that ride for Cash Motorsports. So that's very interesting right there. Of course, you see that on your screen, and we'll show you guys the official standings going into Chicagoland right after this. Well, thank you so much, Logan, for joining me for this race. A very fascinating race here from the, the Nashville Superspeedway. I've had a long day. You know, every single day's been a long day, and I'm trying to crash this in. I'm in Tennessee right now when this race is going up. So, you know, go figure. But, hey, congratulations to Philip Torres. We'll see you guys on Saturday for the Cracker Barrel 400, and that's going to get really spicy, because we're going to set up the Wawa Cup Series chase in just a few days. But huge thanks to Logan Williams for joining me here for the call of this one here from Nashville. Here are the chase standings going in to the Wawa Sprint Series chase. You see the cars that all the drivers will be driving in, and it's going to be a lot of fun because they don't have to sign up anymore, and they're going to be in every single race. And Sam and Oskin's going to lead us to the green flag at Chicagoland next week. If you're not in the chase, though, we still got 10 rides available to sign up, and sign up for Chicagoland for those other 10 rides will be here at 7:30. Thank you so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Philip Torres and all the chase drivers, and I will see you guys later.